At high tide, it seems to levitate. A red gate, adrift in sacred waters. This is the Torii of Itsukushima Shrine on Miyajima Island, a place where spirits cross and humans pause. They call it a threshold between worlds, where sea and shrine blend in one silent prayer. But what makes this structure more than just wood and paint? Miyajima means Shrine Island. For centuries, it's been revered as a divine place, where the mountain is sacred, and so is the sea. No one was allowed to die or be born here. Even now, it's said the island breathes differently, with the rhythm of prayers and distant temple bells. It's more than a destination, it's a living ritual. In Shinto belief, a torii marks the entrance to a sacred space. It separates the human from the divine, the profane from the pure. Passing beneath it is an act of respect, a quiet transition from daily thought to sacred silence. Miyajima's floating torii doesn't just frame a view. It transforms the entire ocean into holy ground. Built in the 12th century, the torii was once only reachable by boat. Pilgrims would approach by sea, letting the waves carry them to the gods. It stands on pillars buried deep in ocean soil, defying storms, tides, and time. Its endurance is not just architectural. It is spiritual devotion carved in cedar. To outsiders, it's a photograph. To locals, it's a guardian, a spiritual protector of the bay. During festivals, lanterns float beside it. Waves shimmer with candlelight, and chants fill the night. You don't just visit Miyajima. You surrender to its rhythm, its silence, its sense of sacred space that lingers long after you leave. At low tide, the illusion breaks. You can walk right up to the torii, touch its ancient base, mossy, worn, grounded in earth. But even then, it doesn't lose its mystery. Some say the closer you get, the more you feel the line between realms thin, as if the gods left fingerprints on the wood. Miyajima has rules, ancient, unwritten. No deaths, no births, no burials. Life must be paused at the shoreline. The entire island is a kami, a divine being, alive and aware. People step lightly here, not out of fear, but reverence. Even deer, believed to be messengers of the gods, roam freely and silently, like monks in fur. At sunset, everything softens. The gate burns crimson against golden waves. It's the hour when spirits are said to walk among us. Fishermen offer silent bows as they pass. Couples whisper wishes into the tide. The torii becomes not just a monument, but a mirror of every quiet yearning beneath the sky. To the islanders, the torii isn't just a structure. It's alive. It listens, it remembers. Some believe it protects them from tsunamis. Others say they've dreamed of it calling their names. It's more than folklore. It's a living bond, passed down in quiet stories, told at night when the sea is still, and the past feels only inches away. You don't leave the Miyajima torii unchanged. It marks more than a location. It marks a moment. People come with cameras, but leave with something quieter, a memory that feels older than their own life. The floating gate remains, but somehow the one who walks away is no longer quite the same. The torii stands for more than just Shinto tradition. It honors the kami of water and wind, invisible deities said to flow through ocean currents, and whisper in pine branches on temple cliffs. When typhoons hit, locals pray at the gate. When fishermen leave port, they bow first to it. It's not superstition. It's a pact with the unseen. In 1996, the Torii and Itsukushima Shrine were declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But to Japan, it's always been a national treasure, not just for its architecture, but for what it represents: harmony between nature and belief. It's not locked behind glass. It breathes with the tides, wears the scars of salt and sun, and still it stands with quiet pride. Every few decades, the Torii is rebuilt, not because it fails, but because tradition demands renewal. Craftsmen chosen by lineage, not resume, replace sacred beams by hand, using tools their ancestors once held. It's not repair, it's ritual, a way to honor the impermanence of life and the permanence of devotion. Miyajima floats between forested hills and endless sea. It's not just geography, it's spiritual balance. The Torii is the anchor between these elements. Wood rooted in water, framed by mountain breath. It embodies harmony. In a world of rush and reason, it invites you to feel, not just observe. The floating Torii reminds us, not all wonders need to shout. Some speak in stillness, in shape, in story. In a country racing toward the future, this red gate holds the past without apology. It matters not because it's old, but because it still holds meaning. It asks nothing, yet leaves something in every heart that sees it. Visitors often climb Mount Misen, Miyajima's highest peak. But the journey isn't just for the view. With every step, ancient spirits are said to stir. Buddhist statues peek from mossy trails, and silence stretches wide like a sacred blanket. By the time you return, the Torii looks different, not because it changed, but because you did. They say the Torii was placed by the gods themselves, that the island floated here from the heavens, a gift of the sea kami. Children whisper that at night, the Torii glows with spirits crossing through. And if you listen close enough, the waves chant forgotten names. Legends may fade from books, but they live on in salt, wind, and wonder. Social media shows the Torii from 1,000 angles, but it never shows the silence. The scent of sea air, the sound of temple bells in the distance. You can't post the way time slows there, or the way the horizon feels like a question. The floating Torii was never built to be captured. It was meant to be felt. The Torii isn't just symbolic. It's mathematical. Its proportions follow sacred ratios used in shrine architecture for centuries. Each beam is chosen not just for strength, but for harmony. Even the slight tilt of the roof beams mimics the arc of a bird in flight. It's not just wood and shape. It's a prayer carved into geometry. Many who visit say the same thing. I want to go back. Not because they missed a photo, but because something stayed behind. The floating Torii doesn't hold you. It releases you. Lighter, quieter, more aware. That's the magic of Miyajima. You don't just remember it. You ache for it. When the tourists leave and the shops close, Miyajima changes. The island exhales, quiet, sacred, eternal. The Torii doesn't disappear at night. It glows softly under moonlight, a silent sentinel for wandering souls. Even the wind hushes near it. Night is when the island belongs to the kami again, and to those still listening. In winter, the island wears silence like a robe. Snow falls on cedar roofs, and the Torii stands colder, quieter, still sacred. Few visit in the cold, but those who do speak of deeper peace, of breath steaming before prayers, and footsteps softened by snow. In winter, the gate becomes a poem, written in white and red. Eiko first saw the Torii when she was 7. She held her mother's hand. As the sea turned gold and the gate shimmered, she didn't know words like spiritual or sacred. She only knew the feeling of something vast and kind. Now she returns, still not with answers, but with the same quiet awe. She's carried all her life. What if the Torii isn't just a gate, but a reminder that between this world and another, there is space for reverence. That stillness matters. That belief can be built into wood, anchored in salt water, and still stand tall centuries later. The floating Torii doesn't ask to be explained. It invites you to pause and simply bow. You've seen it float. You've walked beneath it. You've heard the stories woven through its beams. Now ask yourself, what did it awaken in you? Wonder, stillness, a hunger for something beyond the scene. Then maybe, just maybe, you're already walking through your own Torii. And if you are, enter the sacred waters, subscribe now. Some places you visit, others seem to watch you. Miyajima feels alive, aware of your footsteps, your breath, your silence. The island doesn't need your admiration. It asks only for presence, to walk without rush, to see without the lens. And in doing so, it gives more than any travel guide ever could. Shinto isn't about belief. It's about presence. It doesn't ask for worship, only awareness of the sacred in all things. A rock, a tree, a gate floating on the sea. Kami are not gods like in the West. They're spirits that live in what's already here. And the Torii. It reminds us where to start looking. In the West, time moves forward. Always chasing, always leaving things behind. But on Miyajima, time moves like the tide. It returns. Old prayers echo in new voices. Children bow where their ancestors once did. The Torii doesn't just witness the past. It carries it like a memory held in place. Time here is a sacred loop. What if the Torii vanished tomorrow? Washed away by storm or time? Will we lose something sacred? Or simply learn to carry it within us? Because maybe the gate was never about the structure, but the space it opened in us, the quiet it taught, the reverence it inspired. Some things, once truly seen, can never be unseen. If you stood before the floating Torii today, would you photograph it? Or bow? In that moment, surrounded by wind and water, you might feel something shift. Not in the world, but in you. That is Miyajima's quiet gift. It doesn't shout. It waits. And if your heart is open, it bows back.